A lot of people love a good proposal story or how we met story, but I'm not sure you've ever heard a friendship origin story quite like this one. Welcome back to ɪnˈdevə, everyone. I am so happy that you are here. Happy Saturday, and thank you for stopping by. Today we're going to talk about how my friend group and I first met, and it is quite a tale. My family moved to California in 2012. My sister and I were teenagers. I was 16 and my sister was 13, or she was about to be 13. And my mom, my sweet, lovely mother, was scared to death that we were not gonna make friends. So she, out of the goodness of her heart, bought us these tickets for a corn maze and told us to invite these other two girls that we had kind of knew, we started to hang out with, and we had met a few years before, but we didn't really know that well. The day before, they were unable to make it, so they had canceled, and we were stuck with 2 extra tickets to this corn maze that we didn't know what to do with. There were these other girls that we had met, but we didn't really know, and we just hadn't hung out with them that much. And Mom was like, well, why don't you ask those girls if they're available and they can go with you? And so we're like, okay. So we text these girls and they are down. So we go to dinner and then we go to this corn maze. When we get to the corn maze, it was so nice for her to buy these tickets for us, but apparently she didn't see on the ticket that it was for children. The corn was literally about up to here on us. We could see over the entire maze, including how to get out. So we walked the maze, got to the edge, and we're like, what now? So what else do you do but you call your mom? Mom, what are we supposed to do? This was for kids, whatever. My mom was going on a date night pretty much with my dad and some of their friends, and they were going to a show in downtown Sacramento. And she's like, well, there's still tickets available, so you guys can race over here and join us. So we left the children's corn maze, raced across town. So I was 16 when we moved here, but I was actually 17 at the time of the story. So we were 18, 17, 15, and 14 at the time of the story. So I was 17. I had gotten my license in Michigan. And let me tell you something, the driver's ed process in Michigan is a lot different than California. So we're driving from this corn maze, which was obviously out in the middle of a field, into downtown Sacramento, a terrain of which I was very unfamiliar. So we're trying to make our way. GPS was not as good. Our phones we had iPhones, but they just weren't really telling us where we needed to go. It had not developed quite. I mean, this is only like 7 years ago or whatever, but it still wasn't quite what it is now. And the Sacramento natives, who shall remain nameless, were kind of unhelpful and they were kind of panicky. So at one point we're driving and someone who shall remain nameless says,
oh my word, this is the homeless district. Go, go, go.
And I whip over to the curb. We had barely knew each other. I whip over to the curb and I'm like,
you know what? You drive. If you know where we're going, you drive.
We're like fighting, okay? Not like crazy fighting, but enough that I was like, all right, you drive it. She's like, no, I'm not driving. So chaos ensues. There's homeless people everywhere. Not that there's an inherent threat in homeless people, but we were very young. We did not know where we were. And so we sped away. So I'm getting worked up. We're gonna miss the show. We're not gonna get tickets. We're gonna have a fail night. It's gonna be embarrassing with these girls we don't even know. And I'm just in a car that was not mine. It was my dad's. I borrowed it. Another reason she didn't want to drive it. So I finally find the street that it's on. Oh, H Street. Okay, we're parking here. It's gotta be close. I parked at H and 8th, I believe. And the show was at H and 15th. My very suburb mindset was not thinking, oh, I bet that H and 8th or H and 7th, whatever it was, is not that far from H and 15th. I was not thinking, oh, this is 8 city blocks, like super long block. We walked for like 15, 20 minutes. We like sprinted, not walked, we like sprinted to the show. We get there, we're like, we get tickets, we get inside, we get sit down. It was a great show. So the show gets out and we do not want to walk all the way back to that area. It was so far dark, just 4 girls in downtown Sacramento. Like, I asked my parents, hey, will you guys please drive us back to the car? Unbeknownst to us, they had gone shopping for Christmas decorations that day. And so it's my mom, my dad, and my brother in seats. And then the rest of the seats are folded over and there is tons and tons of Christmas decorations everywhere. So we're sitting on each other's laps, we're all hunched over. It was such a time. That is the quick version of the origin story, and it is just jam-packed full, and yet here we are 7-8 years later, still going strong, still friends, still loving life, and still loving each other. I say all that to say this: it doesn't matter if you got a crazy story. It doesn't matter if you slept in the same crib together. It doesn't matter if you met in kindergarten. It doesn't matter if you've only been friends for a year. When you have a friendship for a lifetime, it is so important to hold on to it, to nurture it, to grow it. That night was crazy, and we could have just fizzled out from there, but at that point it kind of felt like we'd been baptized by fire, and it's only grown from there. So when you see other people with relationships that started when they were children and they're still going strong, don't be discouraged. Don't feel like you have to have that picture perfect lifestyle that's always portrayed in the news or in media or social media, because it can be deceiving. Not every friendship that was established when you were 3 or 4 years old is still gonna have that depth on that friendship pyramid that's still gonna hold as true, even though maybe on social media it's shown that way. True friendship is born because you work for it, you nurture it, and you develop it to make it be what you want it to be. One of these days I'm gonna do a video just going through some of the memories that our friend group has, just to tell you some of our stories. We haven't had too crazy of a time, but sometimes we get ourselves in situations that I'm like, how did that even happen? Thank you so much for stopping by, ɪnˈdevə. If you would like to see more of this content, please check out the channel. Please subscribe. I've seen that we've got a few new subscribers again this week. That's incredible. It makes my heart so happy to see these people clicking. It is totally free. All you have to do is click down below, hit subscribe, put a smile on this face. Like this video. That also helps me to see who's sticking around, who's watching the video. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, and never forget that friendship is a journey. Friendship is an endeavor, and I will see you next time on ɪnˈdevə.